Ron Mans along with Mike Toth. Welcome to this Friday edition of Sports at 11:30. This is the time in the quadrennium when amateur athletes go from nowhere to being #1 in the spotlight.
Yeah, everybody takes notice. Everybody sits up and takes notice when the Olympics are underway. And you're right, Ronnie, the 26th Summer Olympiad officially underway in Atlanta tonight. Over 83,000 people cramming the Olympic Stadium tonight to witness the opening ceremonies. 10,000 athletes parade in. Greece, of course, first. The host Americans last. What about Canada's team? The 5th largest in our country's history. I'm talking about 306 strong, led by Vancouver middle distance runner Charmaine Crooks. She's competing in her 5th Olympics. Experts predicting our country should win about 20 medals over the next couple of weeks. The Olympic flame was led by the immortal Muhammad Ali. I thought that was a great touch. Muhammad Ali, the Olympic champion back in 1960 in Rome. There he is. The competition actually begins tomorrow and runs to August 4th. Canadian swimmer Joanne Millar begins our medal hunt in the pool tomorrow. Great show tonight.
Canada has a number of medal hopes in long course swimming, actually, and in synchronized, our nation will battle the host Americans for top honors as a pair of Calgarians prepare to come home with Olympic medals hung around their necks.
8 years ago, a pair of Calgary-based swimmers won the first Olympic synchro gold for Canada. Carolyn Waldo and Michelle Cameron became national sweethearts in Seoul. Their success set the precedent. Canada remains one of the powers in the world in this sport, and even though solo and duet have now been replaced by just a team competition as the Olympic medal event, our country continues to be a gold contender. Karen Fontaine and Carrie Reed, who both followed in Waldo and Cameron's steps through the Calgary Aquabells Club, are now 9- and 8-year national team veterans, respectively.
You have to park your ego at the door a lot of days, but I think one really good thing is that we're able to play off each other's strengths. So when I see a teammate doing something really well that she's talented at, I can swim up beside her and ask her to get inside that movement for me and get it happening for me. And I think we've all become much stronger overall swimmers because we've learned quickly from each other. You learn much more quickly from someone beside you than you do from someone telling you something off deck.
Canadian synchro has such great depth. You know, there's like 20 athletes who are deserving of this position, you know, and a place on this team. But to have 10 go instead of 2 or 3 is fantastic. And I also think that team is more crowd pleasing. People are really going to relate to this event and go, wow. And I think it's going to help secure synchro's place as a solid sport in the Olympics.
Canada put extra emphasis on trying to win gold as a team at these games. They spent a whole year in Edmonton training together, developing what they feel will be a show-stopping performance.
Have that many people to get in sync, it's much more difficult to do. However, it's much more rewarding when you finally have everybody on board and in tune with each other. And there's nothing that feels greater than swimming on a team that's right on like that.
Reed and Fontaine were part of the silver medal Canadian team at the '95 World Cup and Pan Am Games. They want gold this time as the excitement of these Olympics kick into high gear.
It's pure adrenaline, energy kind of tension. So I think being surrounded by my teammates turns that scared feeling into a really excited, positive feeling.
Now, we should mention this. With CBC holding the Canadian television rights to the Olympics, we're going to be restricted to showing you no more than a couple of minutes of highlights from the games each night. We'll do our best, though, you know that, to keep you up to date on how Canada does and what records may be set, and I think there might be a few of them. All right, still to come tonight on our show, Flames rookie sensation Jerome Iginla joins us live in studio. He's working out in Canmore right now at a hockey school. Former Calgary Stampeder Tony the Tiger Stewart. There he is. He returns to the Big Mac for the first time since he was traded. He's now a Hamilton Ticat, and we talked with Tony about life in Steel City. And boy, I'll tell you what a day at the British Open. Some great shot making as the midway point of the tourney was reached. All this and sports shorts still to come tonight on free TV. Trivia tonight, let's get to it. It's brought to you by Kelsey's Restaurant. Lunch at Kelsey's on us if you can name the only Canadian swimmer to have won 4, count them, 4 Olympic medals. A hint here, though. Not all in the same year. Okay, you got it? Get on it. Caller 5 with the right answer wins. We hit the British Open when we come back, among other things, so stay with us. Well, Welcome back, everybody. Two teams looking for their first wins of this young CFL season squared off at BC Place tonight in Vancouver. Both the Lions and Montreal 0-3 going in. Both franchises desperate for wins to generate some positive publicity, i.e. get some people to the doors. Here we go. Andre Ware, the quarterback in town for BC, is sacked by Gary Rogers. Mr. Rogers says it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I think that's probably true everywhere except BC Place Stadium. All right, BC now trying to get a little wily here. You've got to be wily to score some points. Fake field goal, direct snap to Shelton Quarles. And look at Quarles muster his way all the way down to the 20. Yes, that's a first down. And if you're going to work that hard, you better push it to pay dirt. And that's exactly what BC does. We're up top to Corey Philpott. Philpott does the rest. Talking about a great 1-2 punch out of the backfield when you talk about Philpott and Sean Millington. 13-10. BC in front, 17-13 BC. Dawson moving in for the kill for the touchdown run, 20-17. Montreal on top now. And then the fun really begins. Here is Tracy Ham with a ham sandwich to Jock Climbing. In there, the great Canadian receiver sneaking behind the defense. Touchdown, he says that was very easy. And that made it 27-17 for the Alouettes. Now BC getting nasty here. They block the punt. Get on that thing, Reggie. Reggie Carthon is going to leap all over that pigskin for the major score. That cut it down to 27-24, Montreal in front. They maul Reggie, 30-24 Montreal. Ham to Chris Armstrong for the touchdown. This is very nice. A little play action right there. A pair of ex-Baltimore Stallions hook up. And Montreal, boy, oh boy, they finally get that elusive first victory. There it is. Put it on the board, 44-24. So, yes, the Alouettes with their first win. BC 0-4. What about that Pow offense? Joe Pow, the new coach of the BC Lions, saying, oh, no, here we go again. 0-4. That's a terrible start for the BC Lions, Ronnie.
Well, Mike, the Owls may have struggled at the gate this season, and now, well, separatists in the city are forcing the team to take down banners trumpeting the CFL's new marketing slogan this year, Radically Canadian. It seems in French the translation of this phrase literally means truly Canadian, and the separatists don't like it one little bit, and so the CFL is really not impressed about having their banners taken down either.
We're apologizing to the CFL. We want to keep this country together, and Radically Canadian campaign was one of the purposes. It had a subplot to it, which was be proud to be Canadian, and we're not going to apologize. Our objective is to keep this country together, and if that becomes an issue, we'll deal with it. But I don't think it's an issue for the CFL. I think it's an issue for this country, and we're just kind of a sub part of that.
Tomorrow night, Jeff Giles will make a special presentation to Stampeders receiver Alan Pitts to honor him for establishing a new CFL record for most 100-yard receiving games. He recorded his 42nd in Montreal July the 10th. Meanwhile, the game will pit the league's two undefeated clubs against each other and mark the return of another key former Stamp.
For 3 years, Tony Stewart was the Stamp's starting running back, but his tendency to fumble the football resulted in his trade to Hamilton. As a Ticat, though, everything has been coming up roses. No fumbles in 3 games and an impressive 10-yard per carry average.
In this offense, I might not even get the ball sometimes. Sometimes I might get it once, twice, but it depends on how the game is going. But it's a good situation for me.
Normally, coming back and facing the team that traded you would be extra incentive. Not so, says Stewart.
Do the best that I can, you know. My 3 years here, I was never one to boast and brag, and nothing's changed about me. I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to put my best on the field, and however the chips fall, let them fall.
Stewart's replacement in the Stamps' backfield, Kelvin Anderson, sits 4th in the CFL in rushing with 217 yards and 3 touchdowns. He knows there'll be comparison to Tony when game time rolls around.
I feel like I'm the guy now, and I got to go out and show the fans that I'm the guy, and you know, I really don't know Tony, so he's out of my mind. I'm just going out to show the fans and the coaches that I'm here to play.
The top 2 passers in the CFL square off this game, Jeff Garcia number 1, Matt Dunnigan number 2. Dunnigan, the man who last year engineered the Stampeders' only loss at home.
They're a team, though, that's been dominated in their 3 victories. We have been we've struggled through one last week. We had a tough game against Toronto, and we were able to get through that. And, you know, we gave Ottawa every chance, you know, and really couldn't put them away. So we feel fortunate to be winning games, but we're just not winning them in the same type of fashion that Calgary is.
Well, I think there's a personal incentive each week I go out. I don't think there's enough respect given out to the quarterbacks in the West right now. I know all the experiences in the East, and a lot of the records are in the East, but, you know, I'm doing my thing week in and week out, and I'm showing to them that I can play, and this is another test going up against Dunnigan, and I want to do my best. And, you know, it's not so much me against him, but me against their defense. And as long as I go out and do my thing, we're going to have some fun.
And ex-Birmingham teammates of Dunnigan's, now with the Stampeders, guys like Steve Anderson, can't wait to line up tomorrow.
I know exactly how Matt's going to run, how he likes to escape. Plus, I'm playing against all my former receiver teammates, so it's going to be some tough love out there.
And the first defeat this season for one of these squads looms pending the outcome of tomorrow night's contest.
Yeah, you got to love that tough love. And I'll tell you what, it was tough to determine which event had the British golf fans buzzing more. 56-year-old Jack Nicklaus roaring into contention for a 4th British Open title after shooting 566 today, or the ace sunk by Irish player Paul McGinley. We've got that ace for you. We've got an ace up our sleeves. Here we go. Let's go to that 9th hole. Paul McGinley of Ireland, 7-iron. I'll shut up. The shot will tell the story right here.
Is it? Not quite yet.
I didn't have to say a thing.
Nice
Pull that plug. Yeah, the hole in one.
Plays golf, isn't it?
Well, I don't know about that. Maybe we'll ask Jerome about that. I'll tell you what, McGinley playing some pretty good golf here on 17. The birdie putt. He was 9 under at that point. Finished up 8 under on the day. An amazing round. Here is the Golden Bear, Jack Nicklaus with the approach shot. He is very studious as he watches what that ball is going to do. And that ball has some pretty good action. Nice shot. 2 under yesterday. 56 years old. He's got the bad back. Almost didn't play, but Jack Nicklaus is glad he did. He is 7 under right now. Here is a future Jack Nicklaus, perhaps. Tiger Woods. Pretty good day. A birdie right there. He has 1 under now for the tournament. Here is Fast Freddie Couples. Looking for the bird. And the bird is the word. 5 under for Fast Freddie right now. How about yesterday's leader, the Englishman Paul Broadhurst? Boy, he had a tough day. Birdie there, but I'm afraid to say he was 72 today, and that's 1 over on this very tough golf course. Greg Norman didn't have too much luck yesterday, but the White Shark was back, and he was baring his teeth this afternoon. Here is the approach shot. Just inches away. Missed it by that much. Get smart. 3 under, Greg Norman. Here is Tom Lehman now, looking for a share of the lead. If he sinks this bird, he has got that share of the lead I'm talking about. 8 under. Tom Lehman there on top of the leaderboard with Paul McGinley, the man from Ireland. Nicholas is there earning L's. And then you see Rick Todd. We should mention the only Canadian player. 1 over so far. That's not bad for Rick Todd.
The Alberta Junior Boys Provincial Golf Team Championship squad was announced today. We have it as we go to break. Stay tuned. Jerome Iginla is up after this break.
Welcome back, everybody. The Calgary Cannons may have struggled the last while on the road, but there's no doubt about it. They love the cozy confines of home sweet home at Burns Stadium. Tonight they hosted the Tacoma Rainiers as they open up an 8-game homestand. Everybody's doing this crazy thing. They call this the Hey Macarena dance. I mean, everybody's doing it, especially in baseball. I have not tried it yet, got to be honest with you. Tony Womack took the night off, but I'll tell you what, Trey Beeman takes a page out of the Worms book because he lays one down. Hitting out of the 2-hole, that's what Tony Womack does, and Trey Beeman did it very effectively right there. Raul Ibanez, pair of hits for Tacoma. Bolton picks him off. Tom Bolton gets it over to Rich Audet. Down to Pokey, covering the 2-bag, and they slap the tag on Ibanez. More good deed, the liner to right. Here is Gerald Clark, the former Colorado Rocky, with a nice running catch to the track. Oh boy, Gerald, get on your horse. All right, 6th inning. We're going to see Gerald Clark again. 3-0 for the Guns. 2-run deuce off the stick of Gerald Clark. Pretty good night for Gerald. Audet and Dale Swaim score, and Clark ends up with that deuce down at second, so that made it 5-0 for the Guns. And then here's Polkey. Kevin Polkovich slashes it down the line, third base side. Clark in to touch it. And that made it 6-0 for the Cannons, and they hold on. They win the ball game 6-0. They lost 3 out of 4 in Albuquerque, so that's the start they're looking for as they begin this homestand. Tom Bolton gets the win. He is 6-3, 3-0, I might add, as a starter. All right, the Major League story now as pertains to the Canadian clubs. We're watching the Montreal Expos, but first, how about Bernard Gilkey of the Mets? Shot to left field, home run. It's got the distance. But then the Montreal Expos get on those sticks in the form of Mike Lansing. He slashes a base hit to the gap left field. The run will score. And the G-man is going to get in there. That's an easy way to say Mark Ruzzolanek. That's a lot tougher to say, so just say the G-man. Here is Fletcher now, Darren Fletcher, and Fletch lives with a base hit down to left field, and Floyd will plate it. Montreal goes on to win it 5-4. They are 8 back of Atlanta because the Braves lose tonight. All right, we promised the other Canadian team, Toronto and Detroit. The wild thing, Nixon is safe at first. That was the third strike. He is there, and Martinez safe at home. You be the umpire. Yeah, he's safe, no question about it. Now Big Cease will hit one of those Johnsons. He calls his home runs Johnsons. I don't know why, but the big man hits it a ton, so he can call him whatever he wants. That's number 22. Detroit comes back, and they defeat the Blue Jays tonight. 8-6, your final score. So there you see Detroit over Toronto, 8-6. And what about the Montreal Expos? Are we going to see that scoreboard, or are we just going to talk about it? 5-4. Yeah, we're just going to talk about it. 5-4, Montreal over the New York Mets. And I mentioned the Expos pick up a game on the Atlanta Braves. Now, we're going to pick up on the hockey beat now, because this is Jerome Iginla, the fab freshman of the Calgary Flames, who made his debut last year in very impressive fashion in the Stanley Cup playoffs. We've got some footage of you doing your thing in the playoffs, and you can tell us about it, because it still must be a fantastic memory for you. I'm almost I can't believe it kind of memory, I would think.
Yeah, it was you know, a dream come true to get the chance to play in a game, let alone a playoff game. And you know, I didn't really expect to play that day, but I got the chance, and just to get to be on the ice and the chance to play with guys like Fleury and Titoff, it was unbelievable. And you know, to the goal, I mean, it was kind of, I was in awe. I couldn't believe it. I just got the puck, a quick pass, and I just shot it. A shot I probably, you know, make 1 out of 10 times in practice, but you know, it happened to find its way, and you know, it was just like a dream.
Yeah, some great memories right there. What did you learn? What was the biggest thing you learned?
I think just the difference between junior and the NHL is the speed. You know, the speed all the time. In junior, you know, you take a minute shift, you don't want to come off. The coach calls you off. But here, you go 30 seconds and you're tired, and you want to go off because you're going 100% the full time.
I know you've been working in Calgary, working on your strength and exercise program, with a program actually that the Flames have. And that's really interesting, because Gary Roberts, when he first joined the NHL, he'll tell you himself, he says, I wasn't in NHL shape. There's a difference when you're talking about junior shape as opposed to NHL shape, right? What is the difference?
Well, yeah, I think nowadays the players, they come back to camp in unbelievable shape, and I think the strength is a big thing. You know, the difference between junior and the NHL is it's like men and boys, I guess. Coming up at 16, you're underdeveloped and stuff, but as you go on and you turn 19 and 20, I think you start to develop, and you have to try and catch up to the men that play in the NHL.
It's interesting you use that analogy, men versus boys, because a lot of people said that about you last year when you were in Kamloops. I actually spent a lot of time in Kamloops. My wife is from there, so I've seen you play a number of times, and I go back to training camp. I was watching a blue and white game last fall when you were on the ice against a lot of these young 16-year-olds, and it was men against the boys. Now, what about in the regular season? Did you feel that way sometime? Did you feel that you were better than the competition on the ice?
Well, I don't know if it was better. At 16, I came into the league, and I was one of the young rookies who didn't really know what to expect. And I think just with years in the WHL, you get better just from experience, and you know what buttons you can push with the young guys and how much you can get from them, intimidating them wise. And you know, it's just, yeah, I think it's just years, and you do develop physically over the years.
Let's go back to Kamloops, because that's a very special place to play hockey. I mean, it's funny, I was just there a few days ago on summer vacation, and they're talking about, well, we're in a rebuilding year here. Seems to me they've been saying that for 3 or 4 years, and you always go to the Memorial Cup and have a deep playoff run. What is it about Kamloops that makes it so special?
Yeah, that's kind of funny. Every year I've been there, it was not supposed to be a big year for them. You know, there was always another team that was supposed to beat them, or they were rebuilding, and 2 of those years we won a Memorial Cup, so they couldn't have been that bad. But yeah, it's just great that the fans are really behind you there, and the team, the organization, they run it so well. They're so good to you, and yeah, the fans, they really they treat you nice, and they always have something to say about the team. And it's funny, because I think they're the ones that always consider it a rebuilding year, because they just like to put the pressure on the players, and they know how to push them.
Well, they say it's like playing with the Montreal Canadiens when you play with the Kamloops Blazers. Another reason for the great tradition, coaches, you go from Hitchcock to Rennie to this man, Don Hay. You know Don Hay very, very well. You played with him in Kamloops, saw him a little bit with the Calgary Flames. What did Don Hay say to you when he made you know that I'm not going to be back in Calgary next year, Jerome, I'm going to Phoenix? I'm sure you had a conversation. What did he tell you?
Well, actually, I haven't really got the chance to talk to him yet.
Really?
He's been pretty,
not at all?
He's been pretty busy, but you know, after I do plan on talking to him pretty quick here, and you know, it was nice to see him come here, and you know, to be here, you know, hopefully when I was here. But it's really nice to see him go on to do what he wants to do, and I'm sure he'll do really well. you know, he's a great coach, and I'm sure he'll be really successful.
I'm surprised that you haven't talked to him yet, because I would think you'd be pretty disappointed that Hayes not going to be here next year.
You know, it is disappointing, but I mean, it's got to be. I'm really excited to, you know, for him too, because it's his dream, just as a player's dream, to make the NHL as a player. It's his to be a head coach, and it's great to see him move on.
Now, you're helping young players' dreams come true. We've got to get a plug in for the hockey school in Canmore that you're working right now. We've got a phone number now for any of you kids or parents who are interested in getting involved with this. Tell us about the hockey school.
Oh yeah, it's a great hockey school. It's run out in Canmore, a great city, and you know, they have players from all over the world, kids coming from Germany to Italy, and it's just a great run program, which I think, you know, I would have liked to be able to join myself when I was younger. So I recommend it to a lot of kids, and it's a lot of fun.
Have fun with the hockey school and have fun at training camp in a month or so. It's not too far away.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Jerome Iginla of the Calgary Flames, thanks for joining us, Jerome. We'll take a break. When we come back, Sports Shorts and our trivia answer.
Brought to you by Kelsey's Restaurant. We asked you to name the only Canadian swimmer to have won 4 Olympic medals. Well, Victor Davis did it. A gold and 2 silver in '84 in Los Angeles and a silver in 1988 in Seoul. Well, Friday night, of course, means Sports Shorts, so let's get to it. Now, let's hear one for the little guy, my hero.
Oh, man.
He grabs the 600-pounder, and hey, when the big mountain tips, it crashes big time. Yes, indeed, the little guy wins it. Now, what's a baseball game these days without the basic exorcist exercise with the mascot in the crowd? Just ask Dinger. He'll show you how it's done. Now, is that really the Suns' Rick Bell? The Dinger?
Oh,
How bad can it get on the golf course? Yeah, ask Paul Broadhurst.
Oh.
I can putt these in, believe me.
Is that Broadhurst?
That's Broadhurst. That was at the Scottish Open last week. He didn't break his putter, but hey, look yesterday at Paul Azinger. Take that, you little whip. That's what you did to my game
I said
today.
this last night. I've seen my brother do that on the Sage and Thistle course out in Bassano.
Great defense in baseball now. Let's start with Oakland A's Jose Herrera. Outstanding diving catch. Jose, can you see? Heck of a smile on that guy. Now, Cubbies' Sammy Sosa says, well, Jose, you did a great job, but if you can do that, well, I can probably do something a lot similar.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you call another great diving catch. Now, what do power hitters do when they miss? They fall down, naturally. Jose Canseco doing the demonstration for you. Now, Mets' Jose Vizcaino can't get the grounder, but watch Ordonez, the shortstop. Great barehanded grab, gets the out. That was so good, we're going to have another slow-mo Sports at 11:30. Look at this one. The bare facts of baseball, the out. Now, here's why baseball players also practice golfing, so they can chop those inside hoppers into base hit singles.
He's got to give that one back. That's not fair.
No, replay. Detroit catcher Brad Osmus, the former Padre, showing that he's not a bad cricket batsman as well as playing a baseball player. Now, finally, Joey Cora of the Mariners screaming, hey, who put the axle grease on my bat instead of the pine tar? Duck, you suckers! Oh, Ernie Young, he gets it. Oh, that's smarts. And that's smarts.
Poor little knee.
That's it. That's our show for this Friday night.
We had some fun. The Olympics kick off. Our coverage will continue right here. And, of course, we'll have highlights and post-game of the big football game tomorrow. Stamps and Tie-Cast. Thanks for joining us. You enjoy your holiday, my friend.
Thank you. See you later.